Hey everybody, it's Bert with the No More Black Tears podcast.
As always, this is your boy Caesar C's.
Mr. DJ Rose's in the building tonight.
I just want to start off by saying, hey, happy to all the black people. We had a great Black History Month. Thank you to DJ Rose for accepting the challenge of posting a black person every day. And I hope y'all enjoyed that. And like Carl said on the last podcast, Black History isn't just 1 month, it's year round. So continue looking up black people and studying your history. The topics we have for today, we're going to talk about the Memphis Police and what happened. We're going to talk about the quarterback carousel in the NFL. We're going to talk about Culture Vultures. We're going to go to our Tears, No Tears segment. And then we're going to do our What's Wrong with These segment. So let's start off with what happened in Memphis with Tyrese. C's, what you got to say about that?
It wasn't Tyrese, but
Oh, that's what
I
I'm like.
thought his name was Tyrese.
nah, that's not his name. But
Who was Tyrese then?
Tyreek?
Tyrese is the R&B artist, yo.
What was the dude name who got killed?
Tyree Nichols or something like that?
Yeah, Trey.
Oh, Tyree. So I added an S to his name, so his name was Tyree. Cool.
We were
Yeah.
talking about the guy from Memphis.
Yeah, the cops killed.
Let's get the name. Let's get the name. We speak on it.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah,
it's
that's funny.
it's one of those constant battles where you got a lot of stuff came to light. Like we were talking about the last couple weeks. Was the guy targeted? Did they know who he actually was? Did they get out of hand? Is those type of questions basically? But my thing is, it shows like the gangs, and the bucking, like the system of cops being too rough with people. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. That's why I wanted to wait to talk about it on the pod, because I know we talked about it already, and but I wanted to wait to talk about it on the pod because I want all the information to come out so we can figure out exactly what happened. But we go let before I say what happened, we go let our residential Mr. Law over there, our criminal major over here. We gonna let him speak on it, and then I'm gonna follow. Go ahead, Vertizi.
From the video I saw, they had pulled him over. They had him in a position where they had him restrained. Then he got up somehow, ran off. They caught him and they beat him. And then, apparently they just took it too far. There was reports that, there was some back drama where he was probably messing with one of their baby mamas or ex-girlfriends. First of all, it should have never got that deep to the point where someone lost their life. But I will say a lot of times in law enforcement, there is the perception and it is kind of taught where if you are resistant and you do kind of like run, like you will probably get they will probably take a pound of flesh. But normally there is at least one person kind of surveying the situation, making sure that others are somewhat kept in control where they don't get too mad or upset. So if someone spit on me, yeah, I might, throw a couple punches at him, but I'm normally gonna have a partner that's gonna be like, that's enough, chill out, that's good. I just would like to know why he got pulled over, like C said. Was he targeted? And I would like to know why they didn't properly restrain him the first time, so it wouldn't have even got to the point it got to.
Yeah, that would be nice. No, I don't know if we ever go find that out, because they're probably gonna lie about it. But as when I was growing up as a kid and a teenager, my pops always told me, do not run from the police, because when they catch you, they gonna beat you. They gonna beat you. So if you do run, you better not get caught. So that's all I got to say. Like Jesus said, don't get caught. But
Yeah. I will say this though. There is a big conversation. White people want to know why black people are not outraged about this as much as we situations. First of all,
Kind of used to it by now.
look at the response of the Memphis.
And it was quick. Yeah,
It was
happened
quick.
Yeah.
The officers got fired.
Mm-hmm.
They got charged. So why would you expect us to be outraged?
Yeah, it was
Like
quick.
they got fired like they were supposed to. They get in charge like they're supposed to. They're probably gonna go to prison like they're supposed to. Like there's no reason for us to be in the streets marching and rioting because they're not gonna get away with murder like in all these other situations over the last 10 years where we've seen police officers get away with killing black women and black men and black children and trying to justify it by any means. Secondly, there's the argument of how is black people still saying this is racist? And what needs to be understood is this is an institutional system that has been put in place. So just because you're black or Hispanic does not exempt you from not being able to internalize that and be racist on your own people. Like, yes, there are black people and Hispanic people in law enforcement that you are going to profile your own people because of the way the system has been put in place and taught and programmed you to look at your own people. The same way black people look at people with dreads, white people. There are black people that think black people with dreads are dangerous too. Like that's just how we've been programmed. So that's all a part of the institutional racism that's been put in the system.
To me, it's more of a systematic thing. It's like you look at all the departments across the country and you look at the numbers of people getting beat. It's like cops are automatically going to have cops back. You work in the same field, you're automatically drawn to taking care of your own people. These are the people you work with every day. It's just like the military, the FBI, any organization you can think of. You're going to cover your own people. You work with, these are your partners. These are people, on weekends, you might not be best friends, but you might go to a picnic or you might go out drinking together. So people are going to say, well, why don't you hold your own people accountable?
It's always CYA. Cover your agency.
I like that play.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about what you just said, C's. The biggest thing is this, like, you need good cops to tell on bad cops, but the problem with that is there's too many situations where if you do that, now I respond to a call or now I go to a offender cell, like let's say from a correctional officer, and there are other officers who be like, you know what, that officer right there is a snitch. I'm not going to have his back. And it puts you in a precarious and a dangerous situation a lot of times. So there is the fear within that community that I don't want to be seen as a rat. Because if I'm seen as a rat, these other officers who my life is in their hands, they're not going to have my back to the fullest. And I'm going to go in dangerous situations blind.
Yeah, and it's like we just had a conversation last week where we went, it's like, I'm like, you're a citizen or you're a cop. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. If I get pulled over and I didn't do anything, I don't have anything, I wasn't speeding, I don't have a tail light out, what did you pull me over for? I've had a long day. You've had a long day. If I come aggressive as a civilian, I come aggressive, I'm like, what'd you pull me over for? The cops' response might be aggressive too, and it's vice versa. I could be polite. Okay, let's say I'm a cop now. I've had a long day. I was in traffic, dealing with traffic accidents. I got shot out earlier that day, but now I'm doing patrol. I'm already heightened. My senses are heightened. I'm tense. So there's these factors. It's never going to be even to where it's like, hey, you're a citizen. If you didn't do anything, just be polite. Say yes, sir, no, sir. This is their job.
Yeah. So, but how do y'all feel about it, though? 'Cause my feelings on it, like, I feel like they were wrong. I think they're probably gonna get what they deserve. It doesn't really matter what he did. He still didn't deserve to lose his life over a traffic stop or running from the police or anything like that. Nobody deserves to lose their life over something as simple as that. And he definitely didn't deserve to get beat the way he got beat. Because I watch some videos when it comes to things like that, and some videos I don't watch. This video I couldn't watch because they was like rearing back and like nailing this guy in the face, and like they was like taking turns and all that. I was like, man, it was that bad. I couldn't even watch it. I was like, nah, I'm not about to watch this. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, so nobody deserves that. It don't matter what he did. He could have raped somebody, one of their wives, or something like that. He still didn't deserve that, no matter what color or what he was. He didn't deserve to die or to be treated that way as a human being. They treated him like an animal or less than. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it.
So my take, I'm gonna end my take on two notes. It's an institutional thing. Like, why do you have another thing? Is they had the Scorpion unit. They basically saw this happen and they disbanded the unit. The Scorpion unit was like a specific task force on elite, police. When they put together task force, like certain cases, like it might be violent crimes, drugs, or certain things. So anytime you have something that gets disbanded like that, like a task force, it paints a bad image for a city or certain department. So that's going to be a recurring thing. Is people are going to start looking at departments like they have been over the last, 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's one thing. Another thing is the way they beat him. It just looks like bad optics. Like, hey, they knew him. You don't just beat a criminal who ran away because you didn't want to say so. You just beat him up. It just seems like they knew him or targeted him. It's like, hey, it's this dude. I'm gonna use my power to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Cause I'm pretty sure they could patrol that neighborhood or control that part of the city. So most likely, lots of people you'll know. You gonna know. I know Memphis is a big city, but I'm pretty sure that it got sections of the city that the cops patrol. So most likely, yeah, they know him. But even if they didn't know him, it's still he didn't deserve that, yo.
Yeah, my two things, and they kind of go hand in hand. Nah, no matter what, he didn't deserve that. I don't think you're gonna find anybody. You haven't heard nobody say that he deserves that. So the second thing is, with that being said, that nobody's been saying he deserves that. I would be remiss if I didn't add this. White people, where you at? Like, where y'all at? Like, for the last 10 years, when the cops do stuff like this, y'all been defending the cops saying Blue Lives Matter, and y'all been saying it's justified. We got 5 black cops who did something wrong. I just want to know why the white people who be justifying cops having to protect themselves, but go home to their families, and if you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't have ran, or you shouldn't have talked back, or you should have just complied, or you shouldn't have been resisting. Let me make this clear. He ran. He resisted multiple times in the video. I'm not condoning what they did. What I'm saying is, when I've seen white cops do that to a black person, and the black person ran, like in Atlanta where he got shot in the back, or they was resisting, and George Floyd had a knee on his neck for over 8 minutes, there was white people that tried to bring up the black person's history, and justify what happened. So let's stop making it seem like it's about blue lives. It's always been about black lives.
Yeah, that's true. Always, and then I also another thing. You alright over there?
Oh yeah, water bottle.
One last thing I'm gonna put it on this note. For me, I'm gonna end up this last. I'm gonna speak on it. I don't want this to be the thing where they look at white people or other races. Look at, if they do this to their own, why should we care? That's a criminal. If they do this to their own, it's 5 black cops that beat and killed another black person. Why should I?
Hey Carl, let me tell you something. They already feel that way, because every time police kill black people, the first thing they bring up is black on black crime, which don't exist. So they already feel that way. They didn't need this.
Yeah, they don't.
It's just another notch to the belt.
But yeah, it's a sad occasion, but I just wish that the whole story comes out. I wonder if they're going to be able to have this trial in Memphis, or they might have to move it, because I don't know if
the publicity,
and all that kind of stuff. But either way, they go to all that video and stuff. It don't matter. He got beat down. They basically killed him in the street from all his injuries. I know it was probably blunt force trauma. So I'm not I don't do autopsies or anything like that, but that's what it do.
Yeah. So it's it's always sad to see someone lose their life, and it's always frustrating as black people, especially as black men, to talk about police brutality. So just make sure you continue to have these conversations and understand what's going on. So with that being said, right now in the NFL, we got a lot of quarterbacks that are trying to get drafted into the NFL, quarterbacks that are possibly going to get traded, quarterbacks that are free agents right now. So it's kind of like a moving little circle, maybe a carousel, you would say. So, what's some of your thoughts on what's going on in the NFL right now, C's?
It's one of the big ones. This is gonna be, to me, this is one of the most important uh, free agencies. Is well, two. Lamar, where's he gonna go? It's like, hey, Ravens, give that man his money. He's already proven to you he's the driving force of the team. He scored. The man was injured, came back, still scored. So it's like, what more does he have to prove to for you to give this man his money? I understand wanting to, build a certain team and have cap space and load management and all this other stuff, but that's a player you want to keep. I guarantee you will not have an immediate. You could draft one of the top. You can trade and get draft and get one of the top quarterbacks, but it's gonna take you another 2-3 seasons before you. To me, he's a once in a lifetime player. He's like those extraordinary players. Like, you don't want to lose him. Also, Aaron Rodgers, his time in Green Bay is over. It's getting to the point to where he's becoming toxic to organizations. Like, do you want to deal with Aaron Rodgers' antics? Is another thing. And then where's Derek Carr? Is Derek Carr going to be playing this season?
Yeah, I think he's gonna play it. I think he's probably gonna go to the Panthers.
That's one. Another, they're talking about. He's got connections with the old coach. And then another one, the Bears. That's another big one. Is what do they do? For me, if it was me, I'm sticking with what I got. He's already proven himself, and you want to, turn around and trade for another first round draft pick. I'm not taking a chance. With what he had, the tools Fields had, I'm sticking with what I got.
Yeah.
Versus, so that's me though.
I would too. So the top 3 or top 5 things that's going on with the quarterbacks. First, I believe Lamar will get paid. He's gonna get paid something, but I don't think Baltimore is gonna be dumb enough to let him walk. So I'm not even gonna be worried about him. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's coming back to Green Bay. I don't see a reason why you would go somewhere else, and then because y'all got better as the season progressed last year. So y'all just started off slow. So I see y'all coming back, running it back, doing the same thing y'all did last year. Tom Brady's gone, so Tampa Bay is gonna. They're probably going to draft a quarterback. Maybe the guy probably out of Kentucky. That's probably
Will Levis.
Yeah. Him. That's probably a good fit if they can move up. But Atlanta is saying that they're going to keep Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback, which I think is a mistake. It's a mistake because we saw what he did last year. He didn't do anything at all. Mariota played better than him, but we go to trade him for a downgrade from Mariota, and when we can move up and try to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, we can work a trade with the Bears and try to get C.J. Stroud. That would be perfect. Or if I know the Bears aren't going to trade Justin Fields, but hey, send Justin Fields our way, and then you can take our pick.
Very true.
And then you can draft one of the quarterbacks that's coming out. But the one that I'm interested in is seeing where Derek Carr goes, because I feel like that they brought his best friend there, and then they're like, all right, we're done with you. It's like they used him as like, hey, let's get Devontae Adams here, and then when we got here, we go kick you to the curb and get a better quarterback.
Cold blood.
I want to see where he goes end up, but I think he might go to the Panthers, and also Baker. what he needs to be on the bench. He's a backup quarterback, but they keep giving him chance after chance after chance, and you know he's gonna get another chance. And I don't want to hear because he was a first round draft pick, he was number one pick. A lot of guys were number one picks, and
Cam Newton,
and they're out of the league, and
Man,
Baker is.
like,
Shoot, I would rather have Cam Newton than Baker Mayfield.
that's what I'm saying, man.
I'm like, doggone, this dude's literally a backup quarterback. Like, Stetson Bennett is probably better than Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have him, but that's my take on it. I want to see Aaron Rodgers stay where he at. The Jets, y'all took that guy. You took him, so play him.
the MILF Slayer.
Yeah, you took him, so y'all need to play him, or y'all need to trade him and do something. Well, no, y'all don't need it. How y'all gonna do all that? I ain't feeling that. Take him. Y'all stuck with him, and also with Daniel Jones. I hope they don't pay that man a whole bunch of money because, boy, he was terrible for what 4 years. He get a new coach and then he's okay, but they didn't have no weapons either. But he did his job. But man, I don't know. He was playing for his life this year though. He was playing for a contract. So I'm hoping that they don't pay him all the money that I'm thinking they're going to probably do because he's their quarterback, they say. So, and I want to see if Dak's going to get an extension because I think they probably need to extend him and so they can break up the money because try to do something else. But I don't really care about the Cowgirls, so they can do whatever they want to do. They're not going to win nothing. But that's my take on it.
Man, first thing first, all these fans, please look at these teams. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning. Like, stop using the 49ers as an example because you need a general manager that's going to hit on all of their picks and make smart trades because they are elite everywhere. And they still, in the last 5 years with that team they've had, they came a fourth quarter away from winning the Super Bowl. They didn't even win it. And guess what? They lost to the best quarterback in the game. You need a quarterback. So I just want to start by saying that since this is a quarterback carousel. Second thing, man, we forget, Derek Carr signed a 3-year, $121.5 million extension last year. $32.9 million guaranteed. Now, if you're wondering why I brought that up, I don't give a fuck about Derek Carr. I didn't bring it about him. For all those people that keep saying why Lamar Jackson won a fully guaranteed contract, that's why. The Raiders gave Derek Carr that contract extension last year and cut him this season. And he's not going to get paid going forward. That's why Lamar wants a fully guaranteed contract. That way, whatever team he's on, whether they cut him, he gets hurt, he guaranteed to get all his money. Mm-hmm. If Deshaun Watson, who has not shown to be the player Lamar has been, and Deshaun was great, but Lamar is a league MVP. He has taken his team to the playoffs multiple years, unlike Deshaun, and does not have the off the field issues that Deshaun had. If Deshaun can get a guaranteed contract, man, Baltimore, I better get that man a guaranteed contract. Because I promise you, if Lamar was a free agent, there would at least be 8 teams that would give him a $300 million guaranteed contract if he was a free agent today.
Say it again. Today,
yeah. The only reason why you don't hear the stuff going on with Lamar is teams got to literally think like the Falcons. Do I want to trade 5 first-round picks and then give him a $300 million contract? But if he was a free agent, yes, the Falcons would give him a $300 million contract if we knew we could keep our first-round picks and stuff. Teams just don't want to do both. You don't want to give him a $300 million contract and then have to basically trade away your whole future. As far as Aaron Rodgers, he not coming back to Green Bay. Like, I can already tell the Packers don't want him back. They just don't want to kick him out the door. They just not trying to have another Brett Favre situation where the fan base gets upset. They want to move forward with Jordan Love. So I can already tell, like, Aaron Rodgers not coming back. He getting traded, and he either going to the Jets or he going to Oakland. And if I'm Rodgers,
Oakland doesn't have a team.
My bad, Vegas. And if I'm Rodgers, I'm trying to go to Vegas, bro, because he played played out in the West Coast in college. You know, he likes being in the West Coast in the off season. You know, he's a West Coast type of guy. So if I'm Rodgers, I'm trying to beg the Packers, hey man, send me out there to Vegas so I can gamble, drink whiskey and stuff, eat some steak because I know you like to do that when you be on these podcasts talking about that Rodgers, and you can throw to your homeboy, you know, Devontae Adams, make some Pro Bowls. You ain't gonna win, but hey, you ain't been winning the last 10 years. But guess what? You put up good numbers. You make the Pro Bowl again, and you know you get paid. So good for you, man. Um, as far as Daniel Jones, yeah, man, he ain't it. But hey, like Rose said, he finna get paid, man, because the Giants know if you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't got nothing. And right now, they messed up, bro. Like they waited till last season to basically get him a quarterback, and he fucked around and had a great season. And now you're in the situation of letting him walk, franchise tagging him, and if you franchise tagging, that's about 50 million, you know, for this 1 year, and you still got to pay Saquon. So
That's the one to me. That's the you mess that one up, you're done.
but you're not even sure what you want to do with that because Saquon been hurt the last couple of years, so you don't know how much money you want to give him. So the Giants, I'm just sorry, man, you fucked up. You just in a fucked up situation. But hey, man, y'all got like what 3, 4 Super Bowls in y'all franchise history, so don't be too sad about that. To me, the two most interesting points is, and I say this for last, Justin Fields and college quarterbacks. Like if I'm Chicago, like you said, C's, I'm not trading Fields because we seen what Jalen Hurts did this past year once he got a number one receiver like AJ Brown. Like these quarterbacks need weapons. Josh Allen didn't take that next step till he got Stephon Diggs. Hell, even someone like Kirk Cousins sorry ass. Bro, he got Justin Jefferson. And he be making the Pro Bowl. Man, Kirk Cousins is not no Pro Bowl quarterback, bro. Let's keep it real now. But Justin, hey man, but he just be closing eyes. He said, fuck it, bro. I know you down there somewhere. And Jefferson like, man, I'm so good, I'm gonna make a one-handed catch and make this white boy look good. I mean, it is what it is at that
Go
point.
ahead and throw my chains on.
I'm just saying, bro. You know, come on, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. So, man, get this man some weapons. Trade that first round pick. If we go based off of what the market says, first round pick, first overall pick gets you when the quarterbacks are in the draft. You're looking at least 3 to 4 first round picks in return. Then you're looking at maybe a second round pick and some third and fourth round picks. You're looking at a total of getting 5 to 7 total picks within the first 4 rounds of the draft over the next 3 years. That's your team right there. You're looking at getting defensive lineman, offensive lineman, receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. comes into the draft next year. You got a chance to get him, put him with Justin Fields. Even if you don't get him, if you get multiple first round picks, T. Higgins is with Cincinnati. He got a contract coming up. You might be able to get him for a first round pick or a second round pick. Send him, have him go to Chicago, build that defense up, and you build your team up. Like right now, Chicago, like the future looks bright for y'all because Aaron Rodgers, like I said, he ain't staying in Green Bay, and Kirk Cousins, man, that man's sorry. So I ain't never gonna believe in Minnesota and Detroit. Y'all just Detroit, like y'all looking good, but I just expect y'all to just do Detroit things. And then we got these 2 quarterbacks coming out, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, and man, bro, like that's the conversation to me because Bryce Young has had the better collegiate career, but C.J. Stroud, he just looks like an NFL quarterback. Like the way he throw the ball, like the fact that he got a strong arm, the fact that he's tall, and the fact that he's not fragile like Bryce Young. It's just a simple fact of, man, I just wish you would have played like you did against Georgia every single game you played last year. And I feel completely confident in you. But if I'm a team that need a quarterback in this draft, I'm not gonna. I know a lot of people saying Bryce Young is the pick, but I'm taking C.J. Stroud because I saw what you did against the number 1 defense in the country. You went up against NFL quality talent, and you lit and carved them up with your arms and your legs, and you just more prototypical, man. You ain't small, man, and I can't use the number 1 pick over a quarterback that's built like Kyler Murray because I'm looking at Arizona and I'm seeing what the fuck that got me. So So I need to get a quarterback that's big, strong, got an arm, and can win me some games.
Yeah, I think CJ Stroud's going to be probably a better long term quarterback than Bryce Young because Bryce Young got hurt in college. And like,
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of like kind of reminds me of Tua.
Yep.
I don't know I believe Tua is probably bigger than Bryce Young, but Tua got hurt in college, and now he's dealing with some major issues now in the league. So it's very possible that Bryce Young could be dealing with the same kind of issues once he makes it to the league. And CJ Stroud, he can take the hits and keep on ticking. It's another guy Florida, Richardson.
Oh yeah, Richardson.
But he didn't show up in the college game, so it's like they keep talking about his talent and all this other stuff. But like,
yeah, that frightens me.
it's like, come on, you couldn't even do that at Florida. So how you gonna do that in the league? Yeah, you're big and all that other stuff, but you got to produce numbers when you're playing against these kids. When you're going up against these grown men, it's a totally different thing. Cause that's kind of like Jamarcus Russell. He was killing people in college. But you wasn't killing people in college, but he was. But then when you get to the league, it was just like he turned into an offensive lineman. So
that man couldn't stop eating.
So it's like, come on, I would like to see you have done better things, especially playing in the SEC. You didn't show up. I kept hearing your name, but only game I probably saw that you might have played in was against Georgia, but I don't even know if you played in that game because they destroyed y'all boys.
Yeah, so, trashed them.
So I don't know, but I'm waiting to see what's going on with that, and I'm happy that Lamar's gonna get paid. We already know he's gonna get paid. He shouldn't play unless he gets paid, but I already know he's gonna get paid, and he's gonna get paid what he deserves. As far as a guaranteed contract, the league is against that, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I just want him to get paid. I don't care if it's a guaranteed contract or not. I just want him to get paid and get what he's worth. So that's my thing on it. And Aaron Rodgers, I think you should stay in Green Bay.
Hey, I just want to add, man, we had a black on black Super Bowl. This is not being talked about enough. The two quarterbacks that are at the top of this draft are black quarterbacks. Like at one point in time, like black quarterbacks was not getting taken number one overall. And right now, at this very moment, the two quarterbacks that everybody's saying is hands down gonna go 1 and 2 in the draft are two black quarterbacks. Like that lets you know we come a long way with that position. From a black on black Super Bowl to now, it's like we're literally debating. Oh, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. We're not even talking about the white boy. I mean, they always gonna have some great white hope, but he ain't even talked about possibly going number 1, number 2. Like it's gonna be them, and then you even got some people like Brian said. Some people thinking that Richardson should go ahead of the white boy, Will Levis. So, yeah, man, black quarterbacks, man, y'all doing y'all thing, man. Hey, keep it up, and Lamar get paid, man. Push that money back, cause man, I always want to see a brother get paid. You got anything to close it out, C's?
Nah, man, enough's been said, man. Hey, let the draft and these next signings be good, man. Cause we got some big things coming up this next NFL season.
Can't wait till Tuesday.
So y'all, we got some tears, no tears. So Mano,
we still got that. Yeah, go ahead with tears, no tears.
Yeah,
there you go.
Mano, was being pranked by one of them little TikTokers. Mano was being pranked by one of them TikTokers about him possibly snatching his chain. And he didn't take that kindly. He yoked that boy up and kind of choked him out a little bit. Hey, Rose, what you think about that?
I have no tears for the YouTuber. That's talking about. I think more of those pranksters need to get choked out or because people ain't got time to be playing with you. Man, we ain't no little kids, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we walk up to grown men that, you know what I'm saying, ain't got time but nothing for making money. That's the only time we got is to make money. So if you walking up to me, of course I'm probably not gonna choke you out, but you might get chumped off.
Yeah.
Ain't no might. You probably gonna get chumped off, but I'm not gonna put my hands on you. But I think he got what he deserved, and I think more of those pranksters need to get that too. Because come on, man, it's 2023, and that's the best y'all can do to come up to make some money. Act like little kids, be clowns. Come on, I thought we was evolving as a people, where we ain't gotta suspect ourselves to that. So that's my take on no tears.
And for me, man, quit playing with people, man. It's been more than like what 10 years of these same type of pranks, where it's like, at least if you gonna do it, you gotta make it scripted. Tell the person, make it look real or something. But you gotta forget where Bano's from, man. You know, his dudes actually got stripes from back in the day. You know, it's Brooklyn, man. So nah, no tears, man. Like, just stop doing the stupid pranks, man. People, this is real life. This ain't no. You might be on YouTube, but this is real life. Stop playing with people, man.
Yeah, I'm with you, C's, man. No tears. For the simple fact of, man, be like that dude that be doing the video with all the entertainers, where he be like ordering artists liquor and say,
"Oh, it's my trash, man."
Like, hey, man, it's nothing wrong with being scripted. I love WWE. I love wrestling. It's not fake. It's just scripted. There's nothing wrong with that, man. If you want to do these little pranks, pull these people to the side and just gonna let them know, hey, this is what we're gonna do. That way you don't get hung because you don't know where people from. You don't know what kind of day they having. And, you know, if you get yoked up, if you get knocked out, like that white boy, they walked up to Boosie and kept calling him boy, and his bodyguard came and
he's not white, he's black.
Oh, that's a white. He black.
Yeah, he's black.
Oh, he black. Oh, well, yeah. Shoot. Hey, that black boy, hey, his bodyguard came and socked him, and I promise you, I ain't seen him since. I ain't seen him. Oh, you seen him?
I still see him. He's still doing that same.
He's still doing that same prank. Hey, let me tell you, people don't learn. People don't learn, so I ain't got no tears. But speaking of TikTok, you know, we're gonna keep it moving. Groovy Gorilla and Chicken Boy, if you don't know them, you know, Groove Gorilla, he's a big buff black dude who be dancing his videos. Lately, he be taking what he calls a shark bite of food, and then Chicken Boy is a influencer on TikTok and social media who normally goes to restaurants, eats chicken, and acts kind of like, to say the least, a monkey. They recently have gotten banned because a lot of, especially black people, have put together a petition to ban them off of TikTok. So, C's, you know, you got tears or no tears?
No tears, man. But I'll say this: I don't necessarily feel like they should have been banned. I feel like it's more like they should have been shadow banned, or just enough people should have reported them to where they got taken off by TikTok. Like, if you constantly flag their videos and tag their videos, eventually Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all look at that and say, all right, people are tripping, we got to take these videos down, and they'll secretly ban you. I don't feel like it should have came to that level, but you're making yourself a caricature for laughs. Get the money while it's good, because it ain't going to last that long. It's going to get old real quick. But at the same time, you got to think about what you're putting out, the image that you're putting out in the world, no matter what you do. So that's my take on it. No tears, though. Hey, shit's over. That money gone.
Okay. I don't have no tears for him either, but I feel you with C's, because, like, dog, y'all go take them people's money away. But, hey, find another gig. You found that, and you can find something else. So I don't have no tears. I don't even want to really go into depth, but today was like the first time I seen the monkey boy, and I was like, oh, he's actually acting like a monkey and eating the chicken. Cause I was confused. I'm like, I seen Groovy dancing and stuff before, but I'm like, okay, this big buff dude dancing is like, it's kind of weird, but that's your thing. Do your thing. But I don't have no tears for them being banned on TikTok. I ain't gonna say you deserved it, but come on, man. Do yourself a favor and get a better career than acting like a monkey and looking like a monkey.
Yeah, man, I got tears, man, but not for them getting banned. I got tears just because black people are okay with subjecting themselves to that kind of behavior just to get a check is one thing to make people laugh and you in on the joke. It's another thing when they're just laughing at you. So the fact that you got both of them making videos and predominantly the people that's laughing at the videos are predominantly white audience and they're laughing at two black individuals reinforcing negative stereotypes in the black community. Y'all got tears of that they think that's okay and that's out there. Like C's and Rose said, hey man, I don't want to take nobody money from them, but their money ain't gonna completely stop. I mean, they still on Instagram, they still on YouTube, they just off of TikTok. But yeah, man, they definitely we need to talk about that amongst ourselves about reinforcing these negative stereotypes. And it just ain't them, it's other black people too on social media, but reinforcing these negative stereotypes that white America have of black people. Speaking of negative stereotypes and relationships, T.I. and Lil Boosie been going back and forth lately in interviews and podcasts. From Boosie saying he a rat, he a snitch. I think he got the fucking talking in that police station. And T.I., you know, with his little dreads that he done grown out and stuff, he done went to Boosie restaurant with some paperwork.
No,
with some
that is not
paperwork.
what. He was at his own restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, he was at his own restaurant?
He told Boosie to pull up at his restaurant.
When he was flashing some paperwork, you know, calling Boosie names, say where you at. So
he had a paperwork party.
Yes.
So and invited Boosie to come.
I know one thing for sure. I don't know what this means for the relationship. I know we gonna get that T.I. Boosie album. I don't think that was the album we asked for.
I don't even think that was really gonna happen, to be honest.
I don't think nobody's gonna miss that one.
Yeah, like we didn't ask for that album, but you know what? Hey, I would have listened to it. I would have downloaded it for free, but but Rose, you know, being our main person that know what's hot in the streets in terms of snitching and all that. What you think about this?
I think Tip gave them some tips when he had his court case. I think he gave them some tips, and he was definitely on that commercial saying, "Please snitch on your people. Please snitch on your people." Hey, but I learned to be a T.I. fan, but when T.I. first came out, I was not a T.I. fan. He had good music, but I was not a T.I. fan. So it's kind of like, dog, I don't want to bring my bias into it on it, because I'm just gonna say that as far as what he talks about and raps about expeditiously, you can't say the things that you say and do the things that you did. Like you just need to keep it. You just need to keep it 100. You always talk about keeping it 100 and being a bean. You told. You even said it yourself. You told on your dead cousin. Now you're saying that, oh, that didn't happen. I was just making something up for clickbait. But why even say that? Why even play about being a rat? Like, I'm not playing about being a rat. I'm sticking to my own self and I'm staying in my own lane. So you told probably. That's my opinion. Everybody has one, and that's mine. Boosie, I congratulate him because he took money out of his family's mouths because he stood on his principles. And
facts.
And I salute him for that, because anybody else would have been like, oh nah, I can't do that. Nah, that's my boy. And because y'all both had just teamed up to go against the neighborhood superstar, Charleston White.
Yep. Yeah.
When he was getting on y'all sons. So it's like, come on now, like you know you told. You can't get mad at Boosie for calling you out, because you did what you did. Now, it's time to move on. Now, I don't have any tears for the album. That probably would have been a weird album to listen to, but I have tears for Boosie because everybody's, oh, Boosie this and Boosie that. People try to, because people are such T.I. fans, they're coming at Boosie, but not even really looking at really what's going on. So I have tears for Boosie and no tears for T.I.
I don't have any tears because, hey, for someone to be quote unquote real, one of the real ones, you're doing a whole lot of talking on the internet.
That's what he does now.
That's this. I mean, get your money, get paid.
Expeditiously.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about with both of them on the internet doing a whole lot of talking. Boosie too. Boosie go live. One of the most people that goes live and goes on.
But he always keep it 100 though. he don't go on there saying doing stuff that he ain't talking about doing.
I mean, and then the same another thing is if that's your people, man, I would have. He should have asked him on the phone. I would have been like, "Hey, man, did you snitch? All right, cool. I ain't messing with this dude no more."
That's how you know that relationship was based on nothing. It wasn't a real relationship. Cause how you go get on the interview and do that and then T.I. not know about it? Nah, cause when y'all got together, because y'all, I don't know who Tip probably reached out to you because Charleston White was getting on the sense, so Tip reached out to you and was like, "Hey, let's get together," and that's probably how the relationship really started. But that's my take on it. Like, come on now, y'all got to do better than that. T.I., you got to do better.
Hey, homeboy, I don't appreciate the way you profusely, expeditiously. But nah, man, no tears for that. I don't like the way a lot of stuff just goes on the internet with the lies and the back and forth. And it's like if you snitch, man, it's gonna come to light. You know, if you did what you did, you say, and you can't backtrack. So let's just be honest. Both of these dudes ain't really out on the street like that anymore.
No, they're making money.
But it's keep it 100, keep it real.
But if you gonna talk about it, be about it.
Tell the truth. So no tears, man.
I got no tears, and to say what you was talking about with the streets, but Boosie came out and said perfectly, "Hey, I had to learn. I'm making this rap money. I can't do that street stuff no more." So I respect anybody to be like, bro, I'm not doing that no more. Because when T.I. caught his gun charge, people forget that was 2009. He had already dropped some of his most popular albums, so T.I. was already like kind of paid, and he still had foolishness like that going on. And then he gonna go ahead and just roll over and start running his mouth. As far as their whole situation, man, T.I., you was in the streets, you was doing your thing, you know what it is. Like what Rose said, you can't be talking one type of way, like Gunna. You can't be rapping about stuff and then go ahead and say, I'm gonna be a snitch. Like, if Big Sean and Lupe was a snitch, I'm gonna be real, we wouldn't give a fuck. Because they ain't never put that image out there of themselves for us to be like, nah. But rest his soul, if Nipsey or the Game was to go out here and start snitching, we'd be like, nah, man, that's crazy, bro. Y'all supposed to be some real motherfuckers, man. What's going on?
Game is questionable.
I'm just saying, like, that's the image that y'all portray. Mm-hmm. So, if you T.I. and you know what it is, and you know Boosie a real dude, like Rose said, hey, Boosie stand on everything he say. And you know Boosie then got locked up, was in prison, beat a murder charge and all that stuff. He got people that's locked up because they got snitched on. Just know when you start talking about snitching, someone like Boosie gonna see that, and he gotta say what he gotta say on it, man. Cause his people gonna be like, bruh, that's your man, right? Like, don't you fuck with T.I.? That man out here snitching, man, and you doing business with him. So to be a man, he gotta stand 10 toes down on his principles. And he got to call that out, because if he would have called T.I., everybody would have been like, man, you said this about Gunna, you said this about 6ix9ine, you said this about Charleston White, but T.I. your homeboy. And what Boosie said, I don't hold back for no motherfucking body. Whether you my friend or you my enemy. Snitching is snitching, you wrong. So T.I., man, hey, I'm still going to listen to your music, dog, but I didn't need you to come out on Expeditiously and say you snitch. When I saw the sentence you got and the plea deal you got, I already knew you snitched.
Yeah, we already knew.
We already knew what it is. I didn't need you to tell me you snitched. But thank you for confirming what some people in the black community was like, nah, T.I. ain't snitch. Now y'all know. Your favorite rapper is a snitch.
And then one last question though, is just like, is it a difference between once a snitch, always a snitch? Is that the thing?
Yeah, because if you
it's like if you did you did it in the past, admit it. But if you're actively doing it, it's also even more of a problem.
Once you snitch, I can no longer trust you again, man.
Yeah, it's all
once you snitch, I can't do no dirt with you no more.
And it's like, don't let them become popular like 6ix9ine. Cut that out.
Yeah, man, he's done.
Speaking of people getting arrested and doing jail time and stuff like that, Jalen Carter, top prospect out of Georgia. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. was part of an accident that got some people killed and got arrested for reckless driving. Any thoughts on that, C's?
Statements better be solid. Your statements better be tight. Because what happens, you know they're gonna do their investigation. But I will say this: hopefully they don't try to turn this into a case where he's a scapegoat for. They'll be like, "Oh, you're responsible for such and such dying, certain people dying." They probably were racing. Let's just be honest. They was celebrating. They was out. It's unfortunate that people passed away, but I don't think he should be because he's probably got survivor's remorse. Whatever people go through behind closed doors. But I mean, you shouldn't be punished because of it's one of I don't really want to be not sensitive to it, but I mean, just don't make him be out a scapegoat for somebody.
Yeah, I got tears for him because his career's gonna be all right, but I think he lost $1 million. He lost some millions because of this, but he wasn't responsible for the accident. The girl, she couldn't drive and she lost control. She should have been doing better. She was the adult in the situation, the staff member. That how you the staff member and you running around with the boys like you was out here tricking and thoughting.
She for the streets.
You know what I'm saying? And the streets got you. So I feel sorry for the young gentleman that lost his life. I feel sorry for her family that since she lost her life too. But we already know what's gonna happen next. It's gonna be a civil case after because there's one number of misdemeanors. So after he gets his deal, it's gonna be her parents are gonna even his teammates' parents are probably gonna go after him too. Like, oh, wrongful death suit. It was your fault, even though it wasn't his fault. But we already know it's coming. We already know
what
coming.
time it is.
Yeah. So we already know. So I got tears from all that because technically it wasn't his fault. He didn't do anything. He was there. They was driving. They was racing, or whatever. But he didn't cause the accident. He didn't hit them or make them go off the road. She did that on her own. He wasn't in there with a gun to her head telling her do this, do this. She could have stopped at any time or slowed down at any time, and she decided not to. So I have tears for him. I hate that he's probably gonna be the scapegoat because he is, and they probably go hit his pockets again. They already hit his pockets with this misdemeanor. But I got tears from him. But I hope everything works out for the best. R.I.P. to the people that lost their family and congratulations again on back-to-back championships. Go Dogs.
Yeah, I got tears for him. Kind of like what Rose was saying, man. A lot of these athletes come from poverty. Their parents do a lot to give them the life they got, and they get in a position, and it just takes one or two mistakes. Just one or two mistakes. Luckily, Mr. Carter's still alive, and he wasn't harmfully injured. Like he didn't get a broken leg or nothing like that. Like Rose said, he probably is gonna fall in the draft because there's gonna be teams that's gonna like just try to use that as justification to not draft him. So he's gonna lose a couple millions. He is gonna get hit over the head again. After the misdemeanor, because there is gonna be civil suit cases, just so that these families can get some extra money or whatever. Unfortunately, but it just goes back to Henry Ruggs situation in Vegas a year or two ago. Like, man, you just gotta be smarter, man. Like you in a position to change life for you and your family. You can't be doing things that you just know is going to jeopardize that. So I just hope that for those college players that's playing right now, and for the young people that's in this league, man, just watch this and just understand that. Let's be fortunate that all that happened is he got a misdemeanor because he could have been dead too, or he could have been paralyzed or had some broken legs where he couldn't even be playing football, and now he got to go and reevaluate his whole life. So I got major tears for that.
It's definitely gonna be a stain on his career. It's one of those things. It's gonna be a stain. It's gonna follow him for a while. Probably for his entire career.
I don't think it's probably gonna follow him. Now the player that passed away was a a big contributor to the championship, then
Yeah, that been different.
But they go to it's only a misdemeanor.
He'll bounce back.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, but Rose had said it's all started with a white hoe. So y'all know what time that is. What's wrong with these hoes? So if you been paying attention to what's going on in the streets, ex Miss Pippin, is messing with Michael Jordan's son, and they all in love and stuff. And just to give context, it's like a 20-year age gap between them. Her being 40 something years old and him being like,
I think he's 32.
32, so that's
she's 46.
So that's like a 15, 16-year age gap between the two. And once again, for those who need more information, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan was teammates on the Chicago Bulls for over a decade, and I'm pretty sure they've been around each other, families, and yeah, use that information as you will. So I ask you, C's, what's wrong with these hoes?
What's wrong with them? This is also the same woman that was dating. What was it? Her
Future?
No, she dated Future, and also wasn't this the same woman that was dating?
Oh, Malik
Beasley and teammates like
now they're teammates.
Now. They wasn't teammates at the time.
Yeah, they're teammates
so
now.
This is was it her son's teammate?
Yeah, her son's teammate.
They're teammates now. She's
It's
you see what I'm saying? They was in the league.
You see what I'm? That's a That's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Am I tripping? Is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah, it's definitely wrong with it. It's kind of gross if you ask me.
And
it's like and weird.
And then you're gonna sit there. She's gonna sit there on a podcast or some daytime show. I just saw the clip. She basically said, "You can't really pick and choose these things. Who you fucking with?" Like, yes, you can. You can control that. Who you don't have to act on your feelings, even if you know what you're doing. That's one of the things.
She was grooming him from the start.
And if a man had did this, y'all would have had a whole lot of problems with it.
Just like we got problems with it now. I got problems with it because okay, you could say, "Oh, age ain't none." Scotty was 10 years older than me, and this and like that. Okay, come on. But Scotty didn't know your daddy. He didn't play with your daddy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go out to have drinks with your daddy. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thing. Like, man, it's kind of. I think you could have did a better job with picking the men that you picked. Like, come on now. Like, you ain't scarred that bad. Like, you had a great life. You still living a great life. Like, you can't find nobody else. Y'all always doing this, picking these same circles. I know dudes pass y'all around all the time, but wow, like, come on now. You dating his teammates, the best teammate he ever had, son. Like, I know you seen that kid when he was a kid. So when you seen him as a 13-year-old, you probably pictured in your head like, dog, I can't wait till he get 32. I'm getting me a piece of that.
You ask her,
you know you was doing it.
That's not what happened.
That's what happened. You probably groomed him. You probably touched on him, didn't you?
She tried to say she was never around him.
Oh nah, you was around. You was around. Nah, you was around. Nah, we ain't gonna let that slide. You was probably touching on him and everything. You done seen him at the park and all kind of other stuff. Yeah, you probably gave him some hugs and some kisses on the cheeks, and now you can kiss him on the lips. You probably always wanted to do that, didn't you? Yeah, and we know. What you got, Verteezy?
Man, what's wrong with these hoes, bro? First of all, like Rose said, it's hard for me to believe that you wasn't around him, because just us being friends, I come over here, we have a cookout. I'm around your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm not sitting down playing with your kids, I'm around your kids just because I'm hanging with you.
Mm-hmm.
So just with the fact that they was teammates for so long, and I would assume they hung out off of the court. They said that in the little documentary. They had little things they did. Man, you trying to tell me that you never went over to Michael Jordan house or his family never came to your house and y'all hung out and y'all said, hey, let the kids play with each other. Yeah, now you seen that little boy growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So don't we not even gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't got no problem with the age gap.
No,
like,
wrong with the age gap.
Like, long as you a legal age, that's cool. But this is what I have a problem with. I have a problem if you known this man or woman since they was a teenager or a kid, and now that they're an adult, you get into a relationship with them. That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross, bro.
Ain't
That's
no way
gross.
around it.
And then the second part I have a problem with is this is your ex husband's teammate, best teammate he ever had out of Michael Jordan's mouth. Son, man, like y'all hoes ain't got no shame, do y'all, man? Like you got a 20-year-old son. Like you know your son ain't proud of you right now, but you don't care though, cause you just want to just do whatever the fuck you want to do and live your best life. And this is the culture that a lot of y'all hoes be putting in other hoes' head that they could just go ahead and live their best life. Because if she had any real female friends, they would have sat her down and said, "Girl, you know that you shouldn't be messing with that little boy. You need to find yourself someone else to mess with. They ain't got no relationship to your husband because that's just gross. That's weird. You doing that shit probably despite Scottie Pippen. Like, come on, you gotta do all that. Because if the roles were reversed, let's keep it real now. If Scottie Pippen was doing this with a woman that he basically knew since she was like 12 years old, man, we be killing him right now, bro. Y'all see what they doing to Karl Malone, and that was like 40 years ago. Y'all see they're doing the mailman. They killing his ass, and that was 40 years ago.
He deserves it though.
Yeah, I ain't saying he don't deserve it. I ain't saying he don't deserve it. I'm just saying that was 40 years ago. So if Scottie Pippen was dating a girl and he knew her since she was little, man, we be destroying that man right now. So I just want to finish off by saying, man, we know what's wrong with these hoes.
Yeah, we definitely do. Especially that one.
So I'm gonna pass the mic to C's so he can explain our final topic of the evening. Culture vultures.
So basically, recently it started off with Vlad. I want to say when Vlad kind of got his mini cancel. People were saying that he was benefiting off of the detriment of hip hop culture and also black culture. But basically, another person that came up was Grant Cardone, real estate mogul, guru. One of these online guys. Basically, he's been catching flack for, in so many words, saying that he targets black people. He has to speak in street terms, and it just poses a question. It resurges. What is a culture vulture? What do people mean when they say that? To me, in my definition, is basically when someone benefits off, their easy pickings. They're, scraping off, trying to make quick bucks, targeting, the community of hip hop or the black community. And let me state this: for me personally, the hip hop community is not one and the same as the black community. You can say it's a subculture or subculture of the black community, but they're not one and the same. But basically, it's when someone comes in that's not a part of the culture, that's making money off of or exploiting the culture, and getting clout or money or popularity off of it. Yeah. They're not really truly involved in it. They're just using it, exploiting it. So
yeah, and that's my thing too, cause like the way he said, he was like, I was talking street terms to get that under 40 or 40-year-old black man to come and spend money with him and get that audience. But then when somebody like Dr. Watkins is trying to get you want to come to his platform, like yes, but he said, yeah, I'll let you on my platform and talk to my people and my audience if you let me on yours so I can talk to your audience. But then you don't let that happen. So it's like you know what you're doing and you're still doing it, but people are still falling for it. We just got to be smart and do our own research, and because every subject or every motion or everything is something that you can research, and you can go out and find somebody that looks like yourself to support it. And like just like where with the with women with the nails and the hair, they're Asians and got everything on lock with all of that. But the sisters out there that do the same thing, so we just need to watch out
Facts.
and spend money where it's gonna be spent. Cause I don't know when the last time I seen an Asian spend some money with on with a black female, but y'all black females always going in and spending all your money with them. You keep your money where it's going to be used the most at. Keep it in your own. I ain't gotta say your own neighborhood because it ain't gotta be in your neighborhood, but spend it with people that look like you or that you can help benefit them. Even though a lot of times people say, oh, they when they have these black owned companies and they sell them and things like that, they be like, oh, they sold out. It's not that they sold out. They got an opportunity. They did their work and they did the best move for them and their family. Just like the same thing you're supposed to be doing. You can't be counting somebody else's pocket. You need to be going out and making your own pocket fatter. So that's my thing. But we just gotta be smart, spend money where you're being respected at. And I'm pretty sure a lot of places that y'all spend your money on, the people in there aren't respecting y'all, and they're probably talking about you behind the glass and behind the mask and other languages and things like that. But we just you just got to be smarter and don't let the vultures in your pockets and into your minds, man. Just we gotta step up and start thinking more and start spending our money more wisely. That's my thing on Culture Vultures.
So all I'm gonna say about what Rose just said is we had an episode called Black Involvement. Check that episode out for more content about what he's talking about specifically. As far as Culture Vulture, to me, that's someone outside of the black community who is using black culture, whether it's hip hop, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we dress, the way we do comedy, whatever it is, they're using cultural things about black people to benefit. But what makes them a vulture to me is they're not putting back into the community. So me and C's had a conversation about Elvis, and he was trying to educate me on about possible stuff Elvis was doing for the black community. If he was, I'm not privy to that information. If he was, I would have considered that culture vulture. But if he did not do things to benefit the black community, yes, you learning how to dance from black people, you wearing clothes like black people at the time, like your clothes was kind of baggy, and you singing the way you singing and doing the gyrations like a lot of famous black artists was doing at the time, yes, that's you being a culture vulture because you are over here using black culture to make yourself more famous and to benefit yourself financially. Um, as far as there's another person that I think is a big culture vulture that I don't know if y'all know, Aquafina, an Asian actress who in all her movies talks black. If you don't know her, she's the Asian girl in the Ten Rings. She talks black, acts black, wears baggy clothes. Act like she's a black person. And to me, the reason why I would say she's a culture vulture, she did an interview a year or two ago, and they asked her, "Would you ever play a role where you're Asian and they do certain Asian stereotypes?" And her response was like, "Nah, I would never want to disrespect the Asian community." So you think it's okay to disrespect the black community by doing stuff that we don't necessarily do? Like you're a caricature of what a black person is. So that's okay. But your own community, you can't make fun of. But you can make fun of a community that is the reason why. Like black community is the reason why you're even famous. Like you was nobody until you started doing all the stuff that you're doing to even get to this platform. So stuff like that is the real issue when it comes to the culture vulture. It's people who they got ill will towards us. Like they don't care about us. They don't care that the black community is this or the black community is that. They just literally look at it as this is just a way to just monetize myself and benefit myself, so that I can go on push an agenda. And a lot of times, they're pushing negative connotations inside our community. And unfortunately, the worst part about that is this. To what Rose was saying, we're a lot of times the main consumers of what they're pushing. Because with Aquafina, a lot of her audience is black. When it comes to Elvis, yes, he had a lot of white people, but there was a lot of black people at the time listening to his music. If you consider Vlad a culture vulture, which I'm not, I don't really look at him as a culture vulture, but if you do, I can see Carl's point.
So
A lot of his audience is black.
how about Adam 22 with no jumper?
Adam 22, I don't look at him as culture vulture because he's not really talking about black community to try to push him image. Like most of the stuff I see, he has a lot of porn stars on there.
Yeah,
like,
but they also had a lot of rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you just having a podcast and you just talking about black culture and just having rappers is not the same as you literally perpetrating like black culture, in my opinion.
To me, it was the same. He was the same as Vlad. Aquafina specifically, I had the same view. I just defined it differently. She was basically playing a character, and that character really got her famous and got her into her role in the Shang-Chi, and now she's doing, she's not doing Aquafina anymore. She's doing actual, I'm not gonna say legitimate roles, but more regular roles. But she
all her roles, she still act like that same person, kind of that same.
in Shang-Chi, she didn't really act like that.
I'm just asking.
No.
She has a lot of roles where, yeah, she kind of acts black.
Hip hop.
Yeah, like basically the character she made was basically an Asian woman that got her attitude, the way she dressed, her style, the way she talks, the type of jokes she was doing from black culture. That's being a vulture. You exploited that caricature, those characteristics to get a certain role, and you got reactions. So I mean, that is
and,
one.
And once again, the main thing for me would be this: it would be different if she was then giving black people opportunity to make money, or if she was just a comedian, when she was making fun of Asian culture too. When she did the interview, where she explicitly said,
she wouldn't do that.
"I'm not gonna make fun of my own community." Like, to me, that was a red flag. So why is it okay to make fun of the black community? Like in the I forgot, it was an interview between it was a rapper and Harvey Weinstein. He was breaking down an interview he had with Harvey Weinstein, and they was talking about the use of the N word, and they was saying if I buy a rap album, I should be able to say the N word. And then so he would always have these conversations, and then one day, it was Little Dicky walked in the room, and he said, well, the K word, racial slur for Jews. If you say that in the song, if someone buy that album, it's okay if you say that. And then next thing you know,
what's the K word?
Kike.
Well, say it. You said nigga.
Huh?
I said, well, say it. Don't try like you can't say that, but you can say nigga.
I don't say other racial slurs. I'm just gonna be real. I just stick to black racial slurs because I don't want white people saying the N word.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had an episode about this. Make sure y'all check that out too.
Yeah. But yeah, so literally he asked, "Is it okay if I say that?" And Lil Dicky like, "Huh?" And then so first thing Harvey Weinstein started saying was, "So you want to say that? You want to say that? You want to say?" He said, "Hold up. We just had this conversation about the N word last week." So and then he said, "Oh, so we can only have these kind of conversations when it's about my culture and my people. Mm-hmm. But when we flip it, we can't have it about y'all culture and y'all people." Mm-hmm. And that's the real premise of it, is from that perspective of if we're both benefited from it, if we're both going back and forth with each other, yeah, it's cool, bro. Like, it's cool to make fun of our differences and stuff like that. But if it's only you doing it to just one culture, and the minute that we point at your culture and say, "Hey, what about this?" and you get offended, yeah, you vulturing from that culture, man. Because you literally just saying that your culture is only good for making me laugh, making me money, and being my amusement.
And dribble a ball. Dribble a ball, go rap me a song, go out and dance. So, this poses the question. Can someone of that culture be a vulture? Like, can you not can you exploit your own culture, but can you be a culture vulture in your own culture? If you're part of it, can you be a vulture?
Nah. You could be detrimental to your culture, like we talked about with Groovy, Gorilla, and Chicken Boy, or you could be someone like Plies that you was never hood and you just telling your cousin stories and stuff. Like, you could do stuff like that, can't be a culture vulture because that's part of your culture.
Yeah.
Like if you're
I
Asian,
agree.
there are Asian people that do the opposite of Aquafina. They do a lot of roles where they make fun of Asian people. You Asian, bro, you can do that.
I agree with that.
It's and this is a side. This is it relates, but it's kind of a sidebar. So if pretty much it's like all these online gurus like Grant Cardone and Boyce Watkins, do some research on what you're looking at and what is with everybody trying to sell a course. Nobody wants to actually share the information. They give you little tidbits here and there, but they don't tell you the whole story. You got a few people that'll tell you, hey, you need to do your own research, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, great conversation. Like Rose said, we got a couple podcasts that touch on some of the stuff we said tonight. Go back on the YouTube page, No More Black Tears podcast, YouTube, and check those episodes out to get caught up.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Please do comments. That. Check out the Instagram page, No More Black Tears, and the TikTok page, No More Black Tears, and you'll get updated on all kind of stuff. And we have these conversations to an extended level. But it was great talking to y'all. We had a great Black History Month. Looking forward to dropping content on a weekly basis. So y'all just tune in, please.
Yeah, I'm back quiet.
It's a wrap.